Exodus 26 through 28. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet. With cherubim, the work of the skillful workman, shalt thou make them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains shall have one measure. 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And thou shalt make loops of blue upon the edge of one curtain, from the selvage in the coupling, and likewise shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is outmost in the second coupling. 50 loops shalt thou make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is in the second coupling. The loops shall be opposite one to another. And thou shalt make 50 clasps of gold, and couple the curtains one to another with the clasps, and the tabernacle shall be one whole. And thou shalt make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make them. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains shall have one measure. And thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double over the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tent. And thou shalt make 50 loops on the edge of one curtain that is outmost in the coupling, and 50 loops upon the edge of the curtain which is outmost in the second coupling. And thou shalt make 50 clasps of brass, and put the clasps into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. And the overhanging part that remaineth of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remaineth shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. And the cubit of the one side, and the cubit of the other side, of that which remaineth in the length of the curtains of the tent, shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side to cover it. And thou shalt make a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of seal skins above. And thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle of acacia wood, standing up. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half the breadth of each board. 2 tenons shall there be in each board, joined one to another. Thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side southward. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the hinder part of the tabernacle westward thou shalt make 6 boards. And the 2 boards shalt thou make for the corners of the tabernacle in the hinder part. And they shall be double beneath, and in like manner they shall be entire unto the top thereof, unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the 2 corners. And there shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And thou shalt make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle for the hinder part westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the boards shall pass through from end to end. And thou shalt overlay the boards with gold, and make their rings of gold for places for the bars. And thou shalt overlay the bars with gold. And thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which hath been showed thee in the mount. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. With cherubim the work of the skillful workman shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of acacia overlaid with gold. Their hook shall be of gold, upon 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the clasp, and shall bring in thither within the veil of the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall separate unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And thou shalt set the table without the veil, and a candlestick over against the table of the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And thou shalt put the table on the north side. And thou shalt make a screen for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer. And thou shalt make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia, and overlay them with gold. Their hook shall be of gold. And thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. And thou shalt make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square. And the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. The horns thereof shall be of one piece with it, and thou shalt overlay it with brass. And thou shalt make its pots to take away its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its flesh hooks, and its fire pans, all the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. And thou shalt make for it a grating of network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And thou shalt put it under the ledge round the altar beneath, that the net may reach halfway up the altar. And thou shalt make staves for the altar, staves of acacia wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves thereof shall be put into the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar in bearing it. Hollow with plank shalt thou make it, as it hath been showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side southward there shall be hanging for the court of fine twined linen, 100 cubits long for one side. And the pillars thereof shall be 20, and their sockets 20 of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length there shall be hanging 100 cubits long, and the pillars thereof 20, and their sockets 20 of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court of the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, and the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be a screen of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer. Their pillars 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars of the court round about shall be filleted with silver, their hooks of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the instruments of the tabernacle, and all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause a lamp to burn continually, in the tent of meeting without the veil, which is before the testimony. Aaron and his sons shall keep it in order from evening to morning before Jehovah. It shall be a statute forever throughout their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. And bring thou near unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments, to sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate and an ephod, and a robe and a coat of checker work, a mitre and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take the gold, and the blue, and the purple, and the scarlet, and the fine linen. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, the work of the skillful workman. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces joined to the 2 ends thereof, that it may be joined together. And the skillfully woven band which is upon it, wherewith to gird it on, shall be like the work thereof, and of the same piece of gold, of blue, and of purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on the one stone, and the names of the 6 that remain on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones according to the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be enclosed in settings of gold. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulder pieces of the ephod, to be stones of memorial for the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before Jehovah upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make settings of gold, and the 2 chains of pure gold like cords shalt thou make them, of wreathen work, and thou shalt put the wreathen chains on the settings. And thou shalt make a breastplate of judgment, the work of the skillful workman, like the work of the ephod thou shalt make it. Of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen thou shalt make it. 4 square it shall be, and double. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, 4 rows of stones. A row of sardius, topaz, and carbuncle shall be the first row. In the second row an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. In the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. In the fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be enclosed in gold in their settings. And the stone shall be according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one according to his name. They shall be for the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains like cords of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold and the 2 rings at the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains thou shalt put on the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod in the forepart thereof. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the edge thereof, which is toward the side of the ephod inward. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and shalt put on the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod underneath in the forepart thereof, close by the coupling thereof, above the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof under the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be upon the skillfully woven band of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosed from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place, for a memorial before Jehovah continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart, when he goeth in before Jehovah. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before Jehovah continually. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod olive blue, and it shall have a hole for the head in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of a coat of mail, that it be not rent. And upon the skirts of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet, round about the skirts thereof, and bells of gold between them round about, a golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate, upon the skirts of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and the sound thereof shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before Jehovah, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, holy to Jehovah. And thou shalt put it on a lace of blue, and it shall be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, and Aaron shall bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before Jehovah. And thou shalt weave the coat in checker work of fine linen, and thou shalt make a mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make a girdle the work of the embroiderer. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and head tires shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and upon his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover the flesh of their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons, when they go in unto the tent of meeting, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and unto his seed after him.